Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. It's raining! We've had probably 10 mils so far over yesterday and today. And I wanted to show you guys really quickly what happened on Sunday. Payette had 2 little babies. 1, 2. And she gave me 2 beautiful little boys. So I have no idea who was born first, but this is Lonesome Dove. He is a very cute, very sweet little guy, and I've named him after one of my favorite Western novels by Larry McMurtry. If you guys are on Instagram, you will have seen that I already posted about them. And I will be keeping this guy. I haven't kept a son out of Samurai yet, so this guy is going to be staying, and then hopefully I eventually can use him for breeding as well. So I'm really happy with him. He's honestly super stinking cute, and I'm really excited to watch him grow. Yeah. Yeah. And then we have his brother, Comanche Moon, after another book from the same sort of series. His eyes are a little bit weepy right now. I'm working on that. But he's also super stinking cute. And not as chill as his brother. So I don't know if we've been picking up his brother a little bit more. But yeah, this is Comanche and Dove. Cuties. So like I said, I have no idea who was born first. I was actually milking that morning, and then right after milking I went and clipped her bum, so that's why she looks a little funny. And then I had fed calves, then I went to go nap, and my mom phoned me, and she says, "Come quick, there's 2 babies, and they're both boys." So that was a surprise. I checked her over. I was pretty sure I still felt ligaments, so that was surprising, but they're both healthy, and they're growing like weeds already, so really, really happy with these 2 babies. So I will be keeping Lonesome Dove, and then I will be eventually selling Comanche Moon, just because, like I've said before, I can't keep them all. Oi! What are you doing playing in the water? Yeah, you're not trying very hard to get out of there. Come on, buddy. There you go. Silly. Well, off he goes. And they're constantly snacking. And they're doing really good. So I'm really happy with them. And they're gonna be in that pen for another day or so, and then I'm gonna work on putting them somewhere bigger so that they can run around and play. I'm thinking of moving some of these older mamas with their older babies outside so that I can move those 2 mamas in here, but we'll see. Everybody's got some greens to chew on. I'm not sure how many of you guys are farmers and how many are not, but I wanted to include a segment in a video that talks about general farm safety tips. So I'm just going to tell you some of the top tips that I have for if you're visiting a farm, if you're touring a farm, and maybe if you're starting a farm. So one of the first things that I will tell you, that any farmer will tell you, is do not touch any animal that you do not know. So obviously if you're going to a new farm, you don't know any of the animals, so unless it is expressly said that it's okay to touch an animal, don't touch an animal. This is for biosecurity reasons, this is for your own safety. There are some zoonotic diseases that can be passed from animals to humans, like ringworm. There are a lot of things that if you go into a pen with an animal that you don't know, accidents can happen, and that leaves the farm usually liable for your lack of awareness. So that's the first thing that I will say, is don't go in a pen and don't touch animals that you do not know. The second thing is gate safety. When you're petting an animal, don't stick your hand through the gate like this. Always reach over the top, because if an animal that you're petting on the other side of this gate flips your hand up, you're not going to be pinned inside the gate. If this happens when you're petting an animal like this, you're going to get stuck and you can potentially seriously injure yourself. So that's another thing. Don't pet animals from through the gate, always go over. So that means if you're a kid, you're kind of out of luck. Don't pet animals through the gate or the fence. Another thing, if you're gonna open a gate, close it. Always. Leave everything the way you found it. And I think this goes without saying, but always be aware of your surroundings. When you're walking on a farm, always be listening for machinery to be around, because the people working there are probably not used to you being there. So that means that they're not watching for people. On our farm, we're not used to seeing small children because there just aren't any, so we're not watching for that. So always make sure that you're aware of your surroundings, listening for machinery, watching for animals, because it's our workplace, right? And there's a lot of dangerous things that can happen if you're not careful. We got a lady death napping over there. Oh, she heard me. Are you sleeping? So I'm in our youngest calf room right now, and I'm going to tell you my absolute #1 pet peeve I see when people visit our farm. And that is when they go to a calf, let them suck on your fingers, and then they move to the next calf and let it suck on your fingers, and the next calf, and the next calf, and you get the picture. We don't like when this happens, because even though they're all from the same farm, they can still sometimes have little bugs between each other, and sometimes they can still make each other sick. So that's why we really don't like when people let a bunch of calves suck on their fingers. It's not great. So that's my #1 pet peeve. You can pet them, and this is good. Just don't stick your fingers in their mouth. Even when I'm teaching them to drink from the pail and I'm letting them suck on my fingers to like lead them into the pail, I will disinfect my hands between each calf, just so that I know for sure I'm not, spreading anything between them, so that we can keep raising happy, healthy calves. And then I think the last one that I will mention is just be aware of what you're wearing to a farm. If you have farm boots, or boots that you use to frequent other farms or agricultural areas, make sure that you disinfect your boots before you come here. We will have a little foot bath like this set up so that you can walk through it and disinfect your boots. Biosecurity is a huge concern for us. We're really adamant about keeping our herds healthy. I'm really big about it with my goats, because there are some diseases that can be spread that can really ruin your herd. Same thing for dairy cows. So we always try to make sure that we get guests to either wear little plastic covers over their boots or disinfect their boots. So chlorine is actually kind of finicky that way. You almost need 2 foot baths for it to work properly, because if you have a bunch of organic matter that goes into a chlorine foot bath, the chlorine foot bath after like maybe 10 people will start to become not as effective. So that's why we have a rinsing boot wash, and then they can disinfect their feet here. So those are kind of my little tips on what to do and what not to do on a farm from what I've seen from over the years of people visiting. So I hope that helps people. It really helps us if people keep those things in mind. So I think that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please like and subscribe and share it with a friend, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.